Hey there, I'm Kyle with their bike channel, and today we're going to review the Bridgestone E50 Extreme Enduro tire. Stick around. So I'm pretty excited about this tire because this is the first actual true gummy compound from Bridgestone. It's the E50. Don't confuse this with the E50 DOT approved tire, like the street tire. This is a full competition style gummy tire. Of course, I don't do competitions, but this is like an extreme enduro style tire from Bridgestone. Very, very gummy. Think of like if there was a comparison, this would be as gummy as like a Kenda Ibex or a Dunlop AT81 EX, the Extreme Enduro tire. That's what this tire is, and I've been using it now for 28 hours, and I wanted to bring some thoughts to you. But before we get into this, I just want to let you know, in full disclosure, I did not buy either one of these tires. Bridgestone reached out to me and they offered to give me these tires for testing, and I said yes, only under one condition, and that is I'm only going to say what I think about the tire, and if I don't like it, I'm not even going to show it on my channel. They said okay, cool. So Bridgestone has had zero input on this review, but I did not buy these things, so I just wanted to let you guys know. So here I'm going to do some pros and cons. I first want to break out there and say this tire over here I put 20 hours on. 20 hours on an actual gummy tire is a lot of hours. And this one I could have run for even longer. I could have run 25 or 30, but I wanted to swap over and try the new tire and see if I could see any performance gains. So I know a lot of you guys are saying 20 hours is not a lot of time. I hardly ever go more than 20 hours on any of my tires, and the fact that this made it to 20 hours and it still had all the knobs in place tells me you can go 25 or 30 on this if you're riding like I'm riding, and you get a ton of use. These gummy tires, if it's not a hybrid gummy or a gummy, I'm not even interested in it anymore. And the reason why is because the grip that you get with a tire like this or some of the other tires out there that are gummies or hybrid gummies, it's absolutely insane. You get more grip on these tires and they make you feel like a hero. So I absolutely love that. The other thing I noticed with this tire is you get great side hill action. It has such great grip on these side knobs because they're so soft. Now this is a 140 width tire, but don't worry that it's too wide. 140, this thing is about as wide as a lot of the 120s that I've used. In fact, some of the 110s have been almost as wide as this 140. So if you say 140 from Bridgestone or 120 from IRC, it's almost kind of the same. So it is a 140 width. It comes, this one is, I believe it's the, if I can see it here, it's the 140 80/18. And it's got great side hill action. I have been able to do some side hill stuff with this tire being gummy and with the grip on the side in ways that I've never been able to do side hill action with other tires. So I've really liked that. I'm talking like if you're traversing along a side hill, this gets really good traction there. It also has really good braking. So if you notice the way it's installed, basically you look at this and you have to install it kind of like a paddle tire. At first I actually installed this for the first 5 hours or so on this tire. I actually had it installed backwards because the way the literature looks. But it is a directional tire. It has kind of like a little thing over here. I couldn't tell if it was a directional area or directional arrow or if it was just like a little graphic. It says rear use only. It doesn't say directional. It's kind of like a half arrow. Anyway, I installed it backwards on this tire for the first 5 hours. So if you install it so it looks like a little bit of a mild mud paddle tire, that's the way that you do it. And it actually gets really good braking. I feel like I have a lot of good braking control with this tire. It kind of just kicks in line, and I've actually really liked the way it performs under acceleration and braking. Of course, it's going to have good acceleration because it's so soft and gummy, but the braking aspect of this tire has also been something that I really liked. The tire was actually designed probably for moose bibs, okay? Or even like a heavy duty tube. I know they designed it for heavy duty tubes. I talked to one of the marketing guys on this. So it's primarily designed to work with moose bibs, like a really soft moose bib, or like a heavy duty tube. I actually ran it with tubeless, and it actually performed very well with tubeless. It's got tubeless on this one ran on tubeless, and so it works with all three of those things. I'll get to a little bit of a con on that here later, but just know that it will work with bibs. I didn't try it with bibs. It would work with tubes, and it worked with tubeless just fine. This tire is aimed at the extreme enduro market, like enduro cross guys or hard enduro guys, or just guys that are out doing some maybe more extreme trail riding or soft enduro riding is kind of what I've done with it. But I've also just been blasting out through, you know, higher speed stuff like 4th gear. I don't know that I've actually had this up in 5th gear because I haven't been doing desert stuff with this tire. This tire isn't really a desert tire. It's more of a go slow, get nasty, get after it in the soft stuff, in the wet stuff, the wet, slick, rocky stuff. That's what this thing is designed for, and I think for that purpose they've done really well, and it's going to be a hit with some of those people out there. Another pro about the tire is it lasts a really long time for a Gummy. When Bridgestone did their testing, they said that, you know, they tested this out in Ayresburg and different places on the West series, like the World Enduro, Super Enduro series. Anyway, I'm getting it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, WESS series. They tested it in some pretty extreme environments. They tested this tire up to like 12 hours and it still held up for them. This tire has gone 20 for me, and this tire that's currently on the bike has gone 8 hours. I will say that at 20 hours, you're getting better performance out of this tire in the first 20 hours than you are out of your entire, like your regular knobby. If you get 40 hours out of your regular knobby, I'd rather have 20 hours out of this one than 40 hours out of a regular knobby. And this one can still go further. The amount of performance that you get in those first 15, 20, 25 hours on a Gummy tire, if you can get that many hours, it's pretty freaking phenomenal and it's great. The other thing that I'd say as a pro is this tire actually right now on Rocky Mountain ATV is only $99.98. So that's pretty cheap for a, you know, a Gummy compound like this. I know the Dunlop is about 12, 13 bucks more than this. And these tires used to be like, these Gummy tires used to be like 180 bucks. Now they're coming down in price, and so I think that's a good thing for the general consumer out there because it's coming back in, it's coming down in the market where more people can afford it. Now let's talk about some of the cons. My first con is that it's kind of a short knob. It's kind of like the FIM short knobby tires where it feels like it's almost 1/3 of the way worn out by the time it gets to you. I prefer a much taller knob like the IRC VE33S Gakota tire. That tire has knobs that are 50% taller than this, and I prefer that because it just helps when you're digging. Like if you get into some snow or you get into some deep mud or deep sand, if the knobs are a little bit taller, I think they can dig a little bit better. So that's one knock against this tire, is it doesn't dig quite as well as some of those other tires out there that have deeper knobs. Another con about this is the softer crown in this makes it a little bit hard to accept plugs and keep a plug in. Now, I did get one puncture in this tire right here that you can see, and I had to put 2 plugs in there. The first plug, it would not stay in. Like the crown is not, and I know they didn't make this for tubeless, so this is just a nitpicking thing here. But I had to put 2 plugs in this, and once I got 2 plugs in here, it did hold. Now, occasionally I've had to put 2 plugs in other tires as well, but it's just enough of a soft crown that if you do get punctures, it might not hold a plug quite as well. That's not an issue if you're running a moose bib, which is primarily what this has been designed for though. One other con right now is that there's a little bit of a shorter supply, although it's not a super popular tire, so you can go out and you can buy this tire right now, but as soon as this tire starts to make some traction as some inroads, it might be a little bit harder to find it because of the shorter supply. I've noticed this happen with some of the other tires out there. So there should be a link right now in the description of where you can buy this for Rocky Mountain ATV. They're in supply at the time of filming this video. I don't know if they'll be in supply, how well the supply chain will hold up after that. One other con is that while I did say $100 is a very cheap tire for the Extreme Enduro tire, it's also $100 is also kind of a little bit out of the price range of some people. There are people out there that just want to get the cheapest tire. Maybe they're buying, you know, like a tire that lasts a really, really long time for super cheap, like 50, 60 bucks. This is not that tire. And for some guys, they'll be like, well, if I can only get, you know, 25 or 30 hours out of this thing that cost me $100, I'll buy this other tire for $60 or $55 that lasts a lot longer. So that's going to be one of the problems that this tire has in selling, but I think that's okay because they're aiming this at a smaller demographic of like extreme enduro riders, you know, your extreme off-road guys and your enduro cross guys. That's who this thing is marketed for, the guys that need ultimate grip, but they don't need it to last as long as possible. I've said this so many times. A tire can either be very long lasting, or it can have very good performance but very short lasting. It's very difficult to put something in the middle. This tire is actually impressing me with how long it went. 20 hours and looking like this. So it's more of a performance tire. It's not a super long lasting tire, but it did last pretty long for what it is. So I will be putting more of these on my bikes. I loved how much traction I got with this thing. I'm still gonna run this one because it's a great tire, fantastic tire. Really liked it, good braking, good traction, all those things. So, and I've been using this since, well, I got this tire like, I don't know, April, May. It might have even been March when COVID happened. And I'm filming this in August. So 20 hours on that tire, 20 hours on this tire. I've been doing a lot of other things in the meantime. So that's kind of the full review of this tire. I really like it. Bridgestone E50 Extreme tire. Very, very good. Guys, if you want to support Dirt Bike Channel, one of the easiest ways you can do it is use the links that I have down in the video description and on my website. If you go to dirtbikechannel.com right now, up in the right-hand corner of the website, there's a links button there. There you'll find links to Rocky Mountain ATV, Motorsport, Amazon, and those links help to support the channel and support my family. This is what I do full time. So when you're using those links, I turn around and I buy things, all kinds of things that we're testing, like GPS units and batteries and tools and tires and all sorts of things. So I put all that stuff back into the channel. Anyway, every once in a while, I also do Dirt Bike Channel sweepstakes where I give away bikes. This probably will be one of the giveaway bikes for the late 2020 sweepstakes, this KTM 250XC. So stay tuned for that. It'll happen in October timeframe. I'm shooting for October 15th on the launch date for that. October 15th through December 15th is when we'll be doing a sweepstakes. So I think that's all I've got for you guys today. Really like this tire. It's not the last time I'll put one of these on my bikes. And until next time, leave a single track. Thanks.